Hello there, running ears. It's Manny again, and I'm here at D23. I just wanted to give you a quick recap of what happened. I was gonna do a daily one, but then last night we got back here very, very late, and then we started early in the morning today. So I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna do a weekend recap. I did one for Friday, and I'm not going to get much into details, and I can't put up videos. They actually told us not to, and I don't want the video taken down. So I'm just going to basically tell you what I saw, what was the good, what was the bad, and if there was anything ugly. You can actually go to d23.com, and I believe still the live stream is going to be up, so you can see exactly what I mean. But without further ado, I'll go into what was good. So I'm just going to start off with Friday. Friday, we went to Mickey's of Glendale. That was great. I loved the stuff that they had there. It wasn't a lot. That would have been the only thing that I would say they needed to do more of. But then again, this was a D23 destination. So it wasn't a D23 full-out expo. So from my understanding, and I haven't done one yet, this was my first D23 experience. Again, until I get that experience, I'm not going to be able to tell you what's going on, because I kept hearing a lot of different people saying this was very, very tame considering they've gone to the one in California and they've gone through the long lines and stuff. We didn't. We went right in. We were in the front row the whole time. So anyway, Mickey's of Glendale was great. They didn't have a lot of stuff there, but it was because it was a smaller one. We got to see Encanto, which was a fantastic movie. I would recommend it. I always say this, and I think I said it in the last video, but it's worth repeating. Disney always has good to great stories, but they have a better message. So, guys, pay attention to the message of the movie. It's so great, so deep. Loved the music, loved everything about it, and I would highly recommend it. So now let's go to Saturday. What was great about it? I'm going to have to say this. With all the bad news, bad stuff that's going on with Disney, and is the CEO going to show up? Yes, no. We had Josh D'Amaro there, and Josh D'Amaro, I don't know him personally, but I have met him a couple of times. Again, that's all I know. I'm not going to say we're friends or anything, but he's always been a great guy, and he was a great talker. He spoke very, very well. I really enjoyed his talk. I was highly impressed by his enthusiasm, what he brought to the table, and also the fact that they started giving us stuff, or they had giveaways. They gave away a 2-night stay at the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser when it opens up. They gave, I think it was a whole, what's it called? Whole cruise on the ship, the Wish ship that's coming up, and then they gave a 4-night stay at the Riviera. I didn't win any of these, but it would have been good. But then they gave us a Figment comic book, and then they gave us I'm getting ahead of myself, because one of the other good things is they announced that in basically a year and a half, 2 years from now, 2023, they're going to start the 100th anniversary of Disney. That's going to be exciting. So that started up 1923, obviously D23. So they gave us all the concept art and everything, so we got to see that, and they gave us a poster. So we have the poster for the 100th celebration. So that'll be coming soon. I'm going to put it up on Facebook, and I believe actually it's up on Facebook. If you haven't gone over there, the Running Ears asked to be invited, so you can see that poster. So throughout the days, we had speakers. Some were pretty good. I liked the speakers that spoke about the decades. So they started with the 70s and 80s. That was Saturday. They had the 90s today. All three were really good. Some of the speakers, you could tell they were out of their norm. You know, there was some that were speaking and they were reading, and you could see the teleprompter, and you could tell they were just reading off of it, and they were being very monotonous. That's not very Disney-like, and it didn't add, it basically took away. So that's when I wanted to give it a worse grade, but then I'll explain to you why I didn't give it a worse grade towards the very end. But again, I don't think that's something that's Disney-like. So yeah, I believe the ones that I didn't get into were the last ones of the day. Then we actually had a break, and then at 7:30 we had the music of Encanto, which I thought was going to be a short little deal, because that was the other great thing. So they allowed us to watch the first 2 episodes on the big screen of Disney Plus's brand new series, Hawkeye. So that comes out in a few days, but we were able to see it beforehand. But when we got into the music of Encanto, I kept thinking it was going to be 30 minutes. It was closer to 2 hours, and it was basically like seeing the movie again. But every time we were stopped, and then somebody would talk, and then they would come back to the movie, and then it was kind of out of order, so it didn't make sense, and it almost felt like this was put together at the last minute, and they were just like winging it, and it got to the point where it was boring. Not one person that I talked to said that they were not bored out of their mind with this. And I talked to quite a few. I was just asking around, and they were bored out of their mind. Disney, these people were nice. They were great speakers, way too long. So if you watch this video, Disney, yeah, I would recommend not talking for that long. If you're going to have Lin-Manuel Miranda there, go ahead and talk for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. I think all of us would have been okay with it because of his presence and his just the energy that he brings. But this one was not one of those. So Sunday they had pretty good speakers. They were better speakers, and it was capped off, in my opinion, by one of the greatest, David Nunez, which is an Imagineer, one of Uncle Walt's old right-hand people. And he was great. He was unfiltered, but not in a bad way. He just kept talking and talking, and he's 89 years young, and it was fantastic just listening to his stories because he didn't hold anything back, and you could tell what he was saying came from the heart. And that's what you want from these speakers. When they're reading in the teleprompter, they're just sitting there going like, and this, and this, and this, and it almost sounds robotic. And when you heard Dick Nunez, I'm not sure if I said David Nunez, but Dick Nunez is the gentleman's name. Fantastic, just great. If you get a chance to see him, great. 89 years young, you can tell he was a little fragile, but man, did he do a great job. They also had a session on merchandise, and I love merchandise. And so the only thing that got me upset is that the fact that at the very end, I wanted to get basically almost everything they had up there. Actually, there was one sweatshirt and one jacket. And the sweatshirt, I believe, was here for the 50th, and I didn't get it. My bad. And the jacket, I haven't seen. I'll go to the parks tomorrow. I'll see. I don't think I'm going to get anything else because I bought a whole bunch of stuff anyway, so I probably won't get anything. But that was a great one there. They had trivia throughout. I have to admit, I was horrible at the trivia. I always ranked about the middle to later, less in the middle. It was not a good showing on my part. Shame on Manny Runs Disney. I'm going to have to get better at that. I do have to say the finish was great. They have the D Capellas who had sang a couple of times throughout D23, and they were fantastic. They were fantastic as usual. They sang the music of Epcot, which I love the music of Epcot. They actually had what's it called, a whole panel for about 55 minutes, I think it was, 45 or 55 minutes on just music at the parks. And I love the music at the parks, and anybody who knows me, and you've seen some of my videos whenever I've said, hey, they have some distinct music at every park, and they were talking about it, and I still felt like they could have gone on for another 30 minutes, maybe even another hour, and I still would have been interested because I loved what they were talking about, how the music was made, how it fit into that theme of that land within the park, which was awesome. It was awesome to see. So that's another one that I would recommend that you watch. The very end, again, the Capellas were really, really good. They had a girl. She was a Broadway actress. I'm sorry, Cindy. I want to say Cindy Williams or something like that. Fantastic voice, just great control of her voice. She did a fantastic job. The guy who opened up this morning, I'm jumping around myself. He went out there and he did just a guitar version of There's a Big Beautiful Tomorrow. And he was fantastic. You could the whole time. I actually met his cousin during lunch, and I told him, "Why don't you tell your cousin he has a smooth voice? It's a smooth voice, just great." And I believe he's on iTunes and Spotify and everything. You can buy his music, and you can just look him up. He was the first one there. It wasn't even on our list, so they don't have the names on the list. Besides that, it was fantastic. I got to meet a lot of great people. If some people even came up to me, said hello, what's going on. It was great. I love meeting people with the like mind, And some of us are already making plans on in September for 2021. So if you guys are and want to get in with us, because again, from my understanding, California is a lot harder and takes a lot better teamwork to get up there, so you can actually see a lot of the panels and get into the shopping queues pretty easy. So by all means, please, comment down below. Like I always say, tell your friends about it. Please, we're getting more and more comments. You guys are more than welcome to. This is your channel, so let's let it grow. Again, nothing Run Disney related. That's the first time I'm about 10 minutes into talking, and nothing Run Disney related. Nothing really big on the parks. No really huge news. Nothing that hasn't already come out. They didn't really show us anything new. They showed us the making of the Wish, the cruise ship. But besides that, it wasn't anything really new. We got to see 10 minutes of the new Will Smith show on National Geographic, which looked great. I did see it. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it was pretty good too. Almost everything they showed us was not exclusive, so it wasn't the big deal. That's what they show in California, so that's what I recommend going over there. But going back to what I talked about earlier, is at the very end, Michael, I can't remember his last name, is the leader of D23, came out and said basically the last couple of weeks was the first time they actually met. So I had actually given the whole expo about a C plus, and I moved it up to a solid B because I didn't know that. I didn't know that they had just met, and they had met via Zoom. They had talked via Zoom, but they didn't have a lot of time to practice together because of the pandemic, so they put this together pretty quick. With that said, I thought, okay, I'm going to give them more slack because it's hard. It's hard putting together something like this and something that's supposed to be so big and this quickly. Usually they take months, and this one they met for the first time, like you said, about 2 weeks ago. Well, that's it for now. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. You won't be seeing me until afterward, and when I'll start posting some videos again. And we're all leading up to the marathon weekend coming up in January, which I'm looking forward to doing, just like I did the Wine and Dine a couple of weeks ago, and hopefully seeing you guys on the course. With that said, you create a magical day.